The bracket will break down as follows. Nathan Zamora versus Remelt. Those players will play the winner of Long and Thomas. Long is playing Mud, and Thomas is playing Red Black Goblins. That's one side of the bracket. Other side, Lance versus Sung, Ad Nauseam Tendrils versus Rug Delver, Ku versus Boguki, Death and Taxes versus Blue White Stoneforge.
Yeah, this is a pretty diverse bracket.
Yeah, only 2 decks the same.
Yeah, much like Standard yesterday.
Yeah.
2 decks the same. All right, so I think we're going to be joining this game in just 1 second.
Yep, game looks like it's already in progress. They might have accidentally started the first turn or so, but they're on pause right now.
Oh, okay, there we go. Looks like Nathan Zamora has led off with a Taiga. Shane Remelt has out a Tropical Island and is currently cracking a Scalding Tarn. Let's see what he gets. A second Tropical. Now we've seen both these decks earlier.
Yeah, we have.
Nathan Zamora taking down a rug deck, but it was a different kind of rug. It was a we called it Miracle Rug. It was based off the old Miracle Grow deck using Quarian Dryad.
Yeah, what a blast from the past.
Yep,
huh?
and instead of Quarian Dryad, it appears that Shane Remelt is playing Tarmogoyfs, which will probably be harder for Nathan Zamora to kill than those 1/1s.
Yeah, Tarmogoyf seems a little better than Quarian Dryad. Just by a little bit.
And, Quarian Dryad might get bigger, but it's going to take a while.
Yeah, exactly.
So Nathan plays a Grow the Burnwillows and goes with a
Scavenging Ooze.
Oh, Scavenging Ooze, which
dazed.
stays.
Instantly dazed by Shane Remelt. He knows how powerful that card is. Shrink his Tarmogoyf down to 0-1. Just do crazy, crazy things. Tarmogoyf will attack for 3. We have instant, we have creature, we have land. And he'll play another.
Nathan Zamora draws.
Yeah, and really, Tarmogoyf is a tough card for Nathan Zamora to deal with. Hard for him to Punishing Fire, hard for him to Seismic Assault. He has to Maelstrom Pulse them.
He does, and he is in a perfect position to Maelstrom Pulse them, but he obviously does not have it if he just cycled that land.
Wow, cycle the land,
doesn't play anything.
Hit another land, say go.
And he's playing 28 lands in his deck, so for him to keep missing is pretty rough for him.
Yeah, it is. Wow, just opening himself up to Maelstrom Pulse here. Nathan Zamora, if he has it, needs a Black Source, and he's only going to get 1 more turn to do it.
Yep, and he appears to have drawn a Wasteland, which is a land, but not the Black Source he needs.
No, not even close. Doesn't even tap for any color, let alone black mana. So Nathan Zamora, a handful of spells, but is he going to be able to use them before he dies?
I don't know. It's not looking good for him.
Nope. Mox Diamond would be a good draw. Black Source would be a good draw. Oh, but Shane does have a Force of Will in his hand.
Oh. Now, if you're Shane, do you force this? Oh, you probably just daze it.
It would be a 4/4. And, yep, that gets dazed. Another creature of Nathan's goes to the graveyard, and Shane with a crazy aggressive draw here.
Yeah, much more aggressive than we usually have seen out of these decks.
Yeah. So, in for 9, bringing Nathan to 2. Nathan draws, Mox Diamond. He regrets playing that Wasteland now. I don't think he has another land to pitch to that Mox. If he does, though, Maelstrom Pulse will meet a Force. So this game almost seems like it was over before it began.
Yeah.
About 5 turns, and on Shane's 6th, he'll just untap and kill Nathan.
A much shorter game than Nathan has. And you're right, his removal spells just are not good in against Tarmogoyfs.
Right, he has 2 Diabolic Edict. That's all right, but only 2 of them. Seismic Assault, Punishing Fire. And Nathan succumbs.
Yeah, and of course he does also have Seismic Assault, which is a pseudo-removal spell.
Sort of. Only if Loam's going, really.
Only if Loam's going, but it can certainly kill Tarmogoyfs if Loam is going.
Yeah. So, really quick game 1. Shane Remelt already up 1-0.
Yeah.
So, right now...
We have trivia.
We do. We're giving away 3 months of Star City Games Premium. Basically, the way this is going to work, in the quarters we're going to give you 3 months, in the semis we'll give you 6 months, and in the finals we're going to give away a 4-day Gen Con badge to the winner of our trivia question.
Yeah. And that trivia question is, we just watched the first game with Nathan Zamora. Now in his deck, he had a land in play, which combos with another card in his deck. The combo was recently banned in Modern. What is the name of the card banned in Modern that is included in Nathan Zamora's Legacy deck.
Right, and the important part to remember about the trivia is you have to include the hashtag SCG Premium, or else your entry will not be considered. We won't see it when we search for the hashtag. You won't be entered in the random drawing. Use that, and if we pick you and you get your answer in before the match is over, you can win 3 free months.
Yeah.
So we're going to get back to the match now. Make sure you get that answer in before the match is up. So looking at the sideboards, what do you think Nathan Zamora brings in here?
Oh, let's see. Maybe the last Maelstrom Pulse. Chalice the Void is probably pretty good.
Yeah, Chalice on 1 is really powerful versus the Delver Rug deck.
He's got first 4 surgicals, but I can't believe that that this is the match where you want him in.
No, people love boarding in Surgical, but this seems a little crazy. And I know Nathan Zamora, a former Pro Tour player.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be bringing those in. I think he'll know better.
And Pyroblast. Pyroblast should probably come in this match.
Yeah, definitely. Counters the crucial Force of Will, the crucial Delver on turn 1 even. Mm-hmm. What about Zernorb?
I was thinking about that, and I just think that I don't know if Shane can put enough pressure on to force that. I think Zernorb is great against Burn, but if it gets into a situation where Nathan Zamora has to start sacking to Zernorb, I think he might just be too far behind.
Right. Zernorb used to be a powerhouse. He used to be banned, actually. Believe it or not.
I don't think it was banned. I think it was restricted.
Restricted. Okay, fair enough.
In standard, it was restricted in standard.
Yep.
It was a much different day.
You could not play 4. It was just too powerful to draw multiples.
Well,
I guess is the thing.
Well, you did have Necro back then.
Sure. I guess that's a good point.
That was a big thing.
Yeah. So Chalice probably coming in. Maelstrom Pulse maybe coming in. Pyroblast definitely coming in. He has a lot of cards he can take out here. A lot of cards that are just a little slow, like Terravor, a little slow.
It is a little slow. I mean, it's a creature, though. It's a big threat.
It is. What do you think of Dark Confidant versus Delver Rug?
Let's look at this Delver
Rug list.
Delver Rug list. He's got Stifles, he has Spell Snares, he has Lightning Bolts, he has Dazes. You might still need the Dark Confidant. I don't know if it's your best creature, but
yeah,
you need that card advantage.
It's rough when you when you start flipping Seismic Assaults, when you start flipping more 2-drops, then all of a sudden your opponent starts aiming his bolts at your face.
Yeah,
it's rough, but he might need it. On the other hand, Shane Remelt, his sideboard: 2 Beast Within, 3 Submerge, 2 Ancient Grudge, 3 Surgical, 2 Top.
Man, the Submerges seem like they're going to do some real work in this match.
Oh yeah, definitely. Put a Tarmogoyf on top. Put a Dark Confidant on top even. Terravor. That's a blowout.
I would personally bring in the Beast Within.
Okay.
And that's just because if you can deal with that Seismic Assault, you're in just an amazing spot.
Yeah, I mean, Seismic Assault is really the card that Shane has to worry about. None of the other cards really do a lot. You have to figure Terravor. He'll have a counterspell for the Terravor when it hits, hopefully.
I mean, if he doesn't, Terravor can easily be far larger than the Delver deck can deal with. And it has Trample, so you can't really, chump it.
You can submerge it.
You can submerge it.
That only deals with it for a turn, unless it's, of course, in response to a fetch land.
He might board out some of his burn here. In the last one we saw, the burn was particularly good.
Right.
Well, I shouldn't say it's particularly good. That was the only way that his opponent had any shot away.
That's true.
In that previous match where he was playing against the Miracle Rug deck. But in this one, Shane has Nimble Mongoose.
A huge threat.
Yeah, guess what? That does not die.
Nope. Punishing Fire, nope. Seismic Assault, nope. Diabolic Edict is the only card in Nathan Zamora's deck that can really kill that.
And then Tarmogoyf is just so much larger.
Right.
That even though, he was playing Quarian Dryad, which is a 1/1 whenever you play a non-green spell, or I should say a blue spell, a red spell, a black spell, or a white spell, you get +1/+1 counter. They can be blue-green.
Sure.
It's a counter.
You can be Guy Skyfolk.
Guy Skyfolk is a counter.
Yep.
Versus a lot of matches that might get bigger than Tarmogoyf, but Nathan's deck, it is not going to get the opportunity to do that.
No, definitely not. And the one big card that we haven't talked about, Surgical Extraction.
Yeah.
That is the one way that Shane Remelt has to permanently deal with Life from the Loam.
Yeah, I think that is probably going to come in. Now, he has to be careful with that. One of the tricks of Life from the Loam, of course, is the way that Dredge works, is that it replaces a draw. And so if he holds back one of his cycle lands,
Right.
He goes to Surgical it, cycles a cycle land, and just draws it. Gets the Life from the Loam back.
It's not Extirpate. It doesn't have Split Second. People confuse those two all the time. They seem like similar cards, but Phyrexian mana instead of Split Second.
Yeah. So you think he's going to bring that in?
I think he will, even though Nathan Zamora has access to his deck list. 1 mana in Legacy, it's a lot to keep open. It really is. Like, it doesn't seem like a lot. In Standard, it wouldn't be a lot. But in Legacy, it is. Keeping 1 mana open versus a Wasteland Daze deck is
Now,
a
the
liability.
last card in his sideboard that I just noticed is Counterbalance.
Okay.
That's a little interesting. Does he bring that in? Now, certainly, Nathan's deck is full of 1, 2s, and 3s.
Yes.
Now, the downside is that it looks like he only has 1 top.
Yeah, it's sort of a strange card to have in
Very
his sideboard. I would love to ask him his reasoning on it. Only with 1 top, it's really hard to make Counterbalance anything but...
Oh, sorry, he has 2 more tops, too, in his sideboard.
Oh, okay, it was on the next page.
Yeah, it was on the next page. So he could just board into Counterbalance Rogue.
Huh.
Do you like that?
That locks out Life from the Loam really well.
It does lock out.
It might actually be a better plan than Surgical Extraction.
I think I might really like that plan.
Yeah, you know, if Nathan Zamora didn't have access to Shane Remelt's deck list, it might be another story. He might not know about Surgical, but since they get full knowledge of the 75, he'll play around it. So
And
actually,
I think that he has a few different ways you could take this. And personally, I don't know which is the best plan for him. I don't know if boarding into a Counterbalance deck, certainly just to lock out the Life from the Loam is the best plan.
Right.
Or to build and go into a deck that is pretty much the same deck, except you do a little graveyard hate. Is that the best plan? I don't know. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah. See, the problem with the tops and the counterbalances is Nathan Zamora has certain threats like Terravor, like Seismic Assault, even Maelstrom Pulse is an answer that can get around the counterbalance lock, because unless I'm mistaken, Shane has no 3-drops.
That's true.
0 in the deck, 0 4-drops, 4 5-drops. That shouldn't really be relevant. Mostly the 3-drops. So I'm really not sure what's the best way to attack this. I've never tried to play a counterbalance top deck in an aggro shell.
I've just never played against Aggro Loam, so
Right.
I'm not sure if that's a good plan or not.
It's tough. We're going to see what Shane does. The one thing I would like to see Shane do is between each game shuffle his entire sideboard into his deck and then pull out 15.
With as diverse as the sideboard is, that probably is not a bad plan.
Yeah, especially since Nathan has full knowledge of the 15 sideboard cards. If he immediately sees Shane siding 5 cards, well, you can pretty quickly narrow that down to 3 counterbalance, 2 top. Mm-hmm. Say, okay, well, I guess I'll side in my engineered explosives. I guess I'll side in this, that.
Well, and I think in a lot of cases he just can board in he could board in somewhere between 5 and 9 cards, and I would not be shocked. His deck and sideboard are just so diverse.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's different on the play and draw.
Yeah, it very well could
the
be.
Counterbalance. He tries to go counterbalance. It's not going to be very good in the draw, but it might be. It could be good in the play.
Yeah, I definitely don't expect to see it on the draw. Although Shane clearly played this deck. You don't just stumble upon top counterbalance in your Rug Delver deck.
No, yeah.
He's clearly tried this one out.
Very interesting.
Now, a lot of surgical extractions in people's sideboards today.
Yeah, that's the hot card.
Yeah, I don't like it that much. I really don't. I just don't think it does what people want it to do.
You prefer just the Tormod script? You need some sort of graveyard hate. You like
do.
the Tormod script?
I like I like a mix. Like sometimes Relic is better.
All right.
Sometimes Crypt is better. But...
And they're drawing up.
Yep.
Nathan Zamora back to the wall. He just top-8'd, and here we are.
Already down a game.
Yeah, already down a game. A game much faster than I think anyone expected.
Right. And he will fetch up a Badlands on turn 1. We'll see what he does with it. Probably an Inquisition. And can't daze that. Can't brainstorm, hide anything for that. That's the beauty of being on the play.
And we see a Delver, a Ancient Grudge, and 2 Spell Snares.
Wow.
Nathan Zamora trying to get a look at his hand. He's got a lot of lands there.
Yeah. I can't imagine he takes anything but the Delver here.
Yeah.
No matter what his hand is.
Yep, that Delver needs to go away.
Right. Those Spell Snares, they're not that good against Life from the Loam. Sure, they buy a turn, but unless you have pressure, it's just delaying the inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
Counters Tarmogoyf, counters Confidant, but Shane has 2. Wow, he chooses the Spell Snare. I think Nathan must have a good amount of removal
He
in his
must
hand.
have a Punishing Fire or something in his hand.
Right.
Now, interestingly, Shane has a Ancient Grudge in his hand. So he must have boarded it in, expecting to see possibly Chalice of the Void from Nathan Zamora.
Yeah, I that was one of the only cards I expected Shane not to board in.
Well, this is the advantage you get when you get to see someone else's sideboard.
Right.
you know that if he knows that he's going to lose to a Chalice of the Void, boards in at least one extra grudge. I don't know if it was more than that.
Yeah, but Nathan Zamora only 2 Chalice of the Void. So sort of
he can also get Mox Diamonds.
Mox Diamond, that
which is very, very relevant.
Yeah, I mean, you can just play an Ancient Grudge early on a Mox Diamond and then save the flashback for a Chalice if you need to.
It's like, but if he's only fighting Mox Diamonds, I don't think it's worth it. But if you but if you're afraid of that, then you're afraid of Chalices, yeah, you bring it in.
So Nathan Zamora will fetch up a land, looking at a Badlands here. He does have a Grove in hand, not sure about Punishing Fire right now.
Now if he does it, it will get countered by that Spell Snare.
Right, and Nathan sort of slow rolling his Grove here, doesn't want to get wastelanded, doesn't want to let his opponent know
but
that,
instead he has Terravore.
Wow, that's huge.
That's already
already.
pretty big.
That's 3-3 right now, if it resolves. Shane Remelt, though, no way to counter it.
And since he doesn't currently have a red source in play, he'd have to sack. As of right now, he'd have to sack that fetch land to get a red source.
Yep.
Which would put it above bolt range.
Right.
Also very relevant. So
Shane Remelt sees the Nimble Mongoose on top of his library, thinks for a while, decides whether he wants to sack Misty, decides not to.
Well, that is going to be that Terravore.
Yeah, that's a beast.
That is going to get big. He plays looks like a wasteland.
Wasteland.
And it's just feeding the Terravore.
Terravore is hungry.
At this point, and this is a scary card for Rug Delver at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Shane Remelt has no early pressure on Nathan Zamora. He's only dealt him 3 damage. Well, actually, Nathan's dealt himself 3 damage.
And Terravore just gets just so big so quickly, and he's playing 3, and he has
This looks like Seismic Assault mana. There it is.
Oh boy.
And Spell Snare can't counter that.
And this Terravore is just so big now.
It's a marauding Terravore.
He is a menace to society.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
roaming the countryside.
Roaming the countryside.
Hide your wife, hide your kids.
Terravore's in town.
Hide your Delver too. Because Seismic Assault plus Terravore is a scary, scary combo.
Yeah, he is not getting blocked anytime soon.
No, definitely not.
And there goes the Delver.
Yep. I'm not sure if that was before damage. I imagine it. No, that's upkeep.
Yeah.
So Shane reveals Brainstorm to Delver, but before he can draw it, Nathan shoots down the Delver. Now Shane is really under the gun. He needs to find a way to deal with that Terravore.
And he has 2 fetch lands in play, each of which just grow the Terravore.
Right. Terravore right now is a 4/4.
Yep. So hopefully for him, he boarded in those Beast Withins. Those will kill Terravore.
Yeah, Submerge and Beast Within are really the only ways that he has to deal with
that.
it.
Otherwise, and even if he has Submerge, he does still have to worry about the fact that this Seismic Assault is going, and if he gets life from the loam, once again, things getting real big.
Yeah. Are the Han Solo sleeves a Texas thing?
I don't know. We've seen a few of them. Somebody, I guess there's some special limited edition sleeves released somewhere. I don't know where you can get them.
They're really cool. We keep getting that question, where can we get them? How do I get them? But
we don't know.
Yeah, I wish I did.
You might have to ask the internet. Google knows.
Let me Google that for you. So Shane, trying to find an answer to this Terravore. Attacks Rome with Nimble. Not even close to threshold at this point. Only 2 cards in the graveyard.
Comes Tarmogoyf.
Yep. And that Tarmogoyf should be a 4/5. We have land, instant, sorcery, creature. And for the moment, that'll stop that Terravore. Of course, 1 land in Nathan's hand, and Terravore grows to 5/5.
Yeah. He's 3 more mana. Maelstrom Pulse.
Oof. And again, a 3-drop. That Spell Snare doesn't do anything against it. 3-drops are just really hard.
He's going to sack that.
Yep,
Terravore grows by 1 more.
Yeah. Shane drops to 13. He'll go get a land.
Volcanic.
He has to Brainstorm. He has to find some way to counter that Maelstrom Pulse, and it looks like it'll only be Force of Will. Daze won't do it.
Now, if he did bring in Submerges, he can always submerge Terravore.
Right. That'll buy him a little time.
We don't know if he brought this in or not.
Yeah. So here's Brainstorm. We'll see what he draws.
1, 2,
Ooh, I think I saw a submerge.
I
in
think
there.
I did too. There is a submerge.
So Shane finds what he needs.
That will buy him some time against that gigantic Terravore.
Yeah, hopefully let him beat down a little bit with his Tarmogoyf, beat down a little bit with his Nimble.
It does not have a way to actually deal with the to save his Tarmogoyf though.
Right.
That's very relevant.
Did not find the force of will to go with the submerge.
No, he did not.
No, he didn't put the Brainstorm in his hand. It is in his graveyard. Well, we just got linked to a Amazon site. Star Wars Limited Edition Art Sleeves Han Solo, $5.
Yep.
That's pretty cheap.
That is. I don't know how many sleeves you get with that, but oh, and he says Wyatt says he drew a beast within also.
Yeah, it looks like that might be the card in front there.
So he definitely has boarded in a lot.
Right.
Though apparently, from the looks of it, it did not include counterbalance and top. We've not seen those. So that's, I guess there's just too many threes for that. But he has chosen to bring in all of his, stuff that's good against things like Terravore that he normally could not kill.
Right. Beast Within, Submerge.
Yeah.
Nathan, meanwhile, is fetching up a land. Terravore grows even larger. I believe the status on that is 6-6 right now.
6-6?
Yep.
Okay.
And, a Tarmogoyf for Nathan. Just keeps piling on the pressure.
Submerges, I'm sure. Oh, Submerge already happened.
Yep, Submerge put that Terravore on top. Got
Both,
recast.
Boy. Things are not looking good for Shane.
No, all these cards that need to be countered they keep resolving. And yet we will get you updates on the other matches as soon as we have them. I think they're all still in game 1 right now.
Oh, passes the turn. And we'll see what Nathan draws.
Shane has to Beast Within right now. That's his only way to deal with that Terravore at the moment. Beast Within on the Terravore.
Yep, Nathan has no response to that.
Yep, shrugs his shoulders. He'll get a Beast. And Nimble Mongoose will hit the bin. Chump blocking the Tarmogoyf.
Shane obviously very concerned of keeping himself at a high life total.
Yep.
And Nathan now at this point, he's just looking for life alone.
Right. I don't even know that he needs it at this point. Every land he draws, yeah, it would be nice. Every land he draws is a shock, and he has 2 big creatures.
And Shane has his own Tarmogoyf.
Yep.
Now, looks like what's going to happen is, if nothing else changes, Nathan's going to swing with both. If Shane blocks Tarmogoyf, he can bolt the Tarmogoyf, and they'll both trade, but I believe Nathan has a land to kill us as well.
Right. And the problem for Shane is that if he takes that 3 from the Beast, he's just 2 lands away from death.
Right, and he has to worry if he blocks that Beast. Nathan's Zamora, yep, that is 4-5. Nathan can just pitch a land from his hand and kill a Tarmogoyf.
Right. Shane's in a no-win situation here. We'll block, bolt the Beast.
And it looks like he has put himself in the situation of, a Punishing Fire.
Wow. So even more inevitability from Nathan Zamora. He didn't have enough. Needs some more.
He was saying, I just hope you don't have land, and maybe he didn't. Maybe he just had a Punishing Fire.
Just as good. Even
and
better,
plus he still has the Grove untapped, so even if this gets spell snared,
yeah, he can return it, again.
Cast it again.
Shane Remelt would need a spell snare and a surgical here, and he just doesn't have that.
Nope.
Another Grove.
Wow.
So even if Shane wastelands 1, Nathan still has another. And Shane just left with a Spell Snare and an Ancient Grudge right now. One other card as well. Snapcaster Mage is his third. So he has a little life left in him. That Snapcaster represents his last hope to crawl back into this game. But I don't think the Punishing Fire is going to let him.
And he cannot pay the alternate casting cost and Submerge.
No.
With the Snapcaster Mage. So, that just reduces the amount of cards that he can possibly have here to get him back in the game.
Nathan draws. Goes to attack with his Goyf. Oh, instead Inquisition's first.
Just checking.
Just in case.
Just got to see what he's up against.
Maybe there's some sort of rebuke technology waiting. He won't attack.
You know. Well, it's always nice to know.
Yep. Forces the Snapcaster Mage
Yep.
pre-combat, which is nice.
So what does he go get?
You know, I'm not sure. He might need a Brainstorm here. He might need to draw into
Brainstorm.
another Submerge.
Yep.
Yeah, there's Brainstorm. And this is going to be in response to the Inquisition. And he did hit another Submerge.
Wow.
So that's what he needs. He should let that that Inquisition discard his Ancient Grudge.
You should. That was the best place for Ancient Grudges has been. Nope. He puts the Ancient Grudge back on top.
Yeah, it looks like he just has too many good cards here. Can't
Yep.
hide them all.
He's gonna let Ancient Grudge just shuffle away with that fetch land.
Yep, it's been rotting in his hand since turn 1.
Not sure if Nathan did not choose to bring in the Engineer Explosives or he just hasn't drawn them. Or not Engineer Explosives, Chalice. Actually,
Right.
Chalice got forced, right?
Don't
Early on?
think so.
I don't know.
So here is the Inquisition. It'll see Surgical, it'll see Brainstorm, it'll see Submerge. It'll probably take Brainstorm. Nathan Zamora not too concerned about Surgical right now. Oh, or he is. He has 2 Grow with the Burn Wells. I'm not sure I understand that. Snapcaster Trump blocks, and either way, Nathan Zamora in almost complete control of this game.
Yep, Shane, anytime he wants to, I guess he can just cast it Submerge, but
Doesn't do it yet. And now Nathan really close to just killing him with Punishing
Now here's a
Fire.
question, does Nathan have a Tarmogoyf in his graveyard?
I believe he does.
That's why he would have taken the, takes Surgical.
That would be it. Even if Shane was able to do that, the Phyrexian mana cost on that Surgical would leave him dead to a land.
That's true.
Or dead to a couple untaps. Either way, Nathan Zamora in a no-lose situation here. There's no way he can be defeated this game.
Yeah, it would be pretty hard.
Yeah. I just don't see the combination of cards that Shane could draw. Force of Will certainly isn't one of them.
Just the absurd inevitability of Punishing Fire, Grow the Burn Willows, combined with the fact that
Any
know,
lands.
any
are
lands, yeah.
shocks.
this deck is just full of shocks.
Yep. So Punishing Fire back to the hand. He'll wait for a response from his opponent, almost daring him to Surgical it. And Punishing Fire will shoot him, dealing him effectively 1 damage.
So he has a Force of Will and a Submerge and the Brainstorm.
Yep. So Tarmogoyf gets in, has to submerge it here, no other option.
Yep. As expected.
Yep. Han Solo back on top of the deck.
Han Solo's always on top of the deck.
He's ready for anything, really.
Yeah. He shoots first.
Clearly.
Fact. Yep. Punishing Fire.
Return Punishing Fire.
Effectively, yeah. 3 mana. Deal 1 damage buyback.
Yep.
You need that twice.
One more time.
Yep.
And return Punishing Fire. So at the end of this, Shane should be at 3.
And that is, by itself, is enough. Now, Shane can Force a Will it, the last one, and stay at 1. Oh, and he just has the land, so
Yep. That'll do it.
that will do it.
Shane Remelt has no Stifle available to counter that, is finally out of options, and they'll move to game 3. So after a really blisteringly fast game 1, a long, slow game 2, Nathan Zamora takes that one.
Yeah, his deck has a lot of very interesting tools. All kind of ways to take the game up. And so, both players have very diverse decks, lots of things they can play.
Yeah, I really like
options.
Nathan Zamora's list here.
Yeah, they just both players have so many lines of play.
Right, and the thing about Shane Remelt's sideboard is that, yeah, he has a lot of options, but he has to react to whatever Nathan Zamora has, and if Nathan draws the wrong half of his deck, the sideboard cards of Shane won't do anything, like we saw that game.
Yeah, he drew that Ancient Grudge. The entire game just did nothing.
Famous quote, no wrong threats, only wrong answers.
Who said that?
David Price.
That seems like a David Price thing to say.
Yeah.
That was him just making excuses for playing nothing but lightning bolts and
Exactly.
and he was like giant strength. Yep.
Get in
Good
there.
threat. So
that could have been our trivia question. That one might have been a little too hard, though.
Yes. What card did David Price play in his Pro Tour winning
Oh boy.
deck in PTLA?
Was it the Brute?
It was not the Brute. It was in fact Giant Strength.
Giant Strength.
The format-breaking card in 1997, Giant Strength.
Yep.
All right.
Last millennium.
Last millennium.
Wow. So, I think that Shane Remelt on the play will retool his deck a little bit, sideboarding the Sensei's, Divining Tops, and the Counterbalance. At least that's what I'd like to see him do.
I want to see him do it too, but that's because it's cool.
It is cool. The danger of cool things.
Chad Ellis.
Yeah. Great article. If you've
Great
never read
article.
it, go look it up
Yeah.
on Star City.
One of the best.
Should probably be on the free side by now.
I think he wrote that around 10 years ago.
Yeah, sounds
It's
about
probably
right.
free.
Yeah. So I would like to see Shane take out those ancient grudges. Like we saw that game, sometimes Nathan will just not draw any artifacts.
That's scary, though. I mean, he brought them in for a very specific reason.
Chalice of the Void.
Chalice of the Void.
Yeah.
And what happens if, you saw Nathan look at Shane's deck list,
Right.
make a few changes. Shane's looking at Nathan's deck list, and he's going, oh, man.
Everything I need to fight here.
Right. What am I fighting against? You know,
Right.
what is he made some changes. Did he not bring in artifacts, or did he take them out because he saw Angry Grudge?
It's so tough boarding in a 2-of to fight a 2-of because the situation that has to happen, you both need to draw your 2-of. Every other situation, every other combination favors the player with the threat rather than the answer.
Not good, but you're also going into game 3. You don't want to get locked out.
Right.
He doesn't want to get turn 2, Chalice for 1. That's
no,
scary.
That would be awful. Turn 1 Chalice for 1 even with Mox Diamond.
That's true. That could happen also.
Yeah. At the same time, though, Shane's on the play. He can stop that with a Spell Snare.
Right.
So-
I personally think that he doesn't play Ancient Grudge in the third game.
No, I would board it out. It's risky, but I just don't think he can afford to have that in his deck.
Yeah, I think that Nathan's deck is such a grindy deck. It's aggro loam, but it's it can really grind, and this is a matchup where it is going to grind. It's really just able to deal with every one of Shane's threats.
Right, it has a lot of diverse answers too.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of ones that are
right and it's,
borderline uncounterable.
And he wants to grind down, and sometimes you just need to really get ahead of the curve, otherwise you are going to get ground down.
Yeah, exactly. Shane Remelt definitely the aggro in this matchup.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
It's more got pretty close with that turn 3 Terravore.
yeah, he did.
Was not a small man. It was a very big man, that Terravore.
No, and that was a card
May
we
he
were
rest
talking
in
about.
peace.
Nathan Zamora taking out of his deck.
Yeah. No, I think it's definitely the card you take out.
But he left it in.
Yep.
He beat Shane Remelt down with it. On the draw, though, it just loses so much of its value.
It does, but again, I mean, big men are big men, and Shane doesn't have, he doesn't have the Swords of Plowshares.
Right.
He doesn't have black to cast something like Smother. Go for the throat, whatever.
Just short-term answers.
Right. He after a certain size, those lightning bolts stop killing things.
Yeah, and that size happens pretty quickly, as we saw.
It does. So I think it looks like Shane is still sideboarding. He is trying to figure this out, to figure out what is the right combination.
Shane, he's really in a painful quandary here.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
Is he discarding cards?
He's actually paying 5 life.
Paying 5 life?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't like paying 5 life.
Well, better than discarding cards.
No, the discard root wall it's cool. Not a big deal.
What format is this?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Build your own standard.
Build my own standard.
Scars of Mirrodin, Odyssey.
Yeah, I just got madness cards.
Yeah.
It's modern. I just
Modern.
Not root walls. I'll find something else.
Okay.
There's some other card with madness I
Yeah,
can.
of course.
Yep.
So with Shane on the play for Game 3, who do you think's favored here?
Oh boy. You know what? I really like the Aggro deck. That is personally, of the two decks, that is the deck that is in my heart.
That's the one you're rooting for.
That is what I'm rooting for. Which one do I think is going to win? I'm still going to go for Aggro.
Wow.
I think that he just has all these answers, very diverse threats.
You know what? I'm going to take the other side of the coin. I'm going to take Shane's deck, the Rug Delver deck, solely because he's on the play. You know, if he was on the draw, I'd agree with you. Nathan Zamora might just have too much for him to deal with, but on the play, the Rug Delver deck is a scary animal.
It is a scary animal, and it's all going to come down to whether or not turn 1 flip happens.
Yeah,
exactly. Or turn 2 flip, but turn 1 Delver flip.
Exactly. Nathan Zamora has no 1-mana ways to kill a Delver.
No, he does have 2-mana ways.
Yep, he leans heavily on the 2s when it comes to killing the Delver, the Punishing Fires, the Edicts, and these get spell snared.
Yeah, yeah. Shane, you know, if he can just eke some damage out early on.
These games will go long. We saw that.
Yeah, and, you know, he has bolts, he has...
Snapcaster.
Yeah, Snapcaster, so it's not like he has some reach.
Yeah, he does. Also, Chain Lightning, not sure if he kept those into this matchup. I'm going to guess he sided them out.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a lot to side out. I imagine you take your Stifles, there just is not enough.
He just has too many lands.
Yeah, you might be able to mize a random fetch one here or there, but I think for the opportunity cost of it, it's pretty high.
Yeah, I agree. And there's really nothing to take out. You can't take out Ponder. You can't take out Brainstorm.
Right.
You cannot take out Daze. Daze is one of your strongest cards.
Yeah, because you need that early game to work in your favor.
Right.
You need to be able to stop, you know, a second turn Tarmogoyf, or, you know, first turn Mox Diamond on the draw.
Chalice of the Void.
Play, yeah. There's just enough cards.
So Shane on the play. He would love to open with a Delver here. We'll see if he can do it.
I see a Force of Will.
Ooh. And that's a Daze.
That is a Daze. I do not see a checklist card, though, I don't think.
No checklist card. He needs a threat, because if he doesn't have a threat, like, the Rug Delver deck can out long game blue-white sometimes, but I don't think it can out long game aggro.
This is a hard one to out long game.
Yeah.
He's going to he has to save that Force of Will for some really important things. You know, he cannot let a Seismic Assault resolve.
No. Ever.
Ever. That is the card that is one of the scariest for him. It's long term. It's just such inevitability.
So we'll see what Nathan Zamora does here. He has a few lines open to him. He has a Mox
Diamond. This is risky.
So land first. That's important.
Land, very important.
Doesn't want to get it dazed.
Ordering is important.
Right. So we'll see if Shane Remelt takes the 2-for-1, or rather the 2-for-2 with that Force of Will.
He's thinking about it. Oh,
Grove of the Burn Willows. Oh, he didn't even give
turn 1 Inquisition
Shane the opportunity to counter it.
And Shane was really hoping for a Tarmogoyf there, or some other 2-drop.
Right, something he could spell snare, something he could daze.
Inquisition it's going to get something.
Yep. Looking at a Force of Will for Inquisition. That doesn't seem right to me.
Oh man.
Wow.
I guess he's just thinking that Daze is going to be dead for the whole game.
Yeah, he turned that Inquisition into a Hymn to Torok there.
I'll take that all day long. Now, what is he appears to have
a Tarmogoyf.
2 lands, a Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I think he just decided he's on the beatdown, and you know he's going for it.
Yeah, he thinks he has to just start beating down with Tarmogoyf. He cannot let Nathan Zamora take his Goyf.
He might be right.
Yeah, it's a gambit. You know, this is a risk, because if Nathan Zamora has any removal spell, this play looks awful.
Yeah, and you know Nathan does have things that can just kill Tarmogoyf.
Right, Diabolic Edict.
Yeah.
Maelstrom Pulse. Tarmogoyf of his own just to block it.
Right.
So we will see what Nathan has to deal with this Goyf. Now, it will be 3-4 when it comes into play. No creatures in the graveyard yet. Just sorcery, instant land. Now Shane wishes he had that Ancient Grudge.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe it's still in the deck. We don't know.
Yeah. Nathan
draws another Mox.
Another Mox, yep.
Now he really is going to want that Ancient Grudge.
Yeah.
Looks like he has
a Tranquil Thicket and a Red Cycle land.
All right. Diabolic Edict.
Whoa. With 1 mana up.
Yeah.
Tarmogoyf to the bin.
Wasteland destroys a land. Nathan really, really, really needs to get a Life from Loam sometime soon.
Yeah, he's just about out of land here. Shane will ponder. He would love to find an Ancient Grudge, but I have a feeling that he took them out post-board.
Yeah, I think he did. I think it was the right call, and then, you know, sometimes you get in this situation where opponents only two cards in play are Mox Diamonds.
Right, you know, it looks bad. It looks bad taking out Ancient Grudge, but I agree. It was definitely the right decision.
Well, yeah, I don't even know if it looks bad. It's just you know, it's a big question of do you want it? How much are you concerned about, getting chaliced? And, chalice isn't too scary this game.
No.
It's never, something a card you want to see, but it's not too bad. Like, you have a lot of ways to deal with it. And Nathan just keeps cycling.
Yep, trying to find a life from the loam.
Digging for that life from the loam.
And Shane has nothing. He's just sitting on counters. He's forced to pass. Force of Will, Spell Snare, Spell Snare. There's a land. There's a Tarmogoyf. That is getting Spell Snared.
Not a surprise.
Instantly Spell Snared. Shane just stuck
and he has
drawing
another
lands.
Spell Snare, looks like.
Yeah. His hand, Force of Will. Is that a Beast Within? I think that's a Beast Within and a Spell Snare. Wow.
Wow.
So Shane thinking about Beast Withinning a land here.
He went so hard and going very proactive, and it did not work out. And now he's really on his back feet.
Right.
Nathan Zamora completely in control of this game.
Right, and that Valorous Stronghold will just let him recur Tarmogoyf over and over.
Yeah, I mean, he has to get a few more lands where he can do it every turn, but
right,
that is a little scary for Shane.
So Nathan will just say go. Both players just staring at each other here, and there's a Tarmogoyf for Shane.
Mm-hmm.
That's a game changer.
So, yep, Nathan just putting Tarmogoyf back on top.
Yep.
And casting Tarmogoyf.
And another Spell Snare.
Yep.
Nathan does have a Bayou in his hand.
The question is, do you play it?
Nope, I guess not.
Interesting.
Nathan also with a Terravor, I believe.
So now, this is all of a sudden looking more and more like this might be in Shane's favor.
Right, I can't believe it. Seeing the opening few turns, but it looks like
Nathan
it is.
has been looking for life from loam, been looking for something, and he has not hit it. Dark Confidant comes out, and that's might get Force of Willed. Yep.
Ooh,
it's getting Beast Within.
Wow. So Nathan Zamora gets a Beast that'll at least jump in the way of Tarmogoyf.
I believe that we have the life totals. Tarmogoyf's already hit once, right?
Yeah, we'll get those life totals updated for you.
Okay. Tarmogoyf comes in again.
Ooh.
His own Tarmogoyf.
And Shane is out of answers to it. Has only a Force of Will. Draws a top, though. That's a good draw.
Yeah.
And he'll spin that top, looking for an answer to the Goyf.
He did bring in the counterbalance. Yeah.
So counterbalance,
What do you know?
submerge. He has everything he needs here. Shane just tops into two very good cards and a land. And we'll see how he orders them. Now, it seems like this is just going to be a staring contest. Nathan Zamora pretty much running on empty, and Shane just trying to live long enough to survive long enough to build up to counterbalance lock, keep his life total high.
Next turn, he's gonna put the counterbalance back on top. He's that seems to be his big plan.
Yep. And Nathan did have to play his Bayou to play around Days, so Submerge is live.
Yeah.
For its alternate cost. Ooh, and that's a Seismic Assault.
Again, the card we kept talking about that we wanted to see.
Yep, that'll get under counterbalance.
Well, he also might pop top and Force of Will it.
Right, that's just such a card that if the game goes long, he can't beat it.
Yeah, Nathan Zamora. That's an amazing combo. Now, Shane might be able to get it locked underneath the counterbalance top, but it might take a while. So he's thinking about it. Like, do I? It's risky. It's very risky to let that resolve and say, okay, so my plan is to let that resolve. I'm going to keep life from loan from ever going crazy. So you just have a really expensive shock engine.
Yep.
At
the same time, though, Seismic Assault, as inefficient as it is when you don't have Lome, wins the Tarmogoyf war.
It does, but if you can get, he's got to submerge.
Yep. So it looks like.
Yep. Looks like he is in fact going to. Yep. Pitch a submerge. Force a will it.
Yep. He just wants to get his counterbalance top lock active, and it'll take him one more turn to do it. Top comes into play. Top spins. He'll see Island. He'll see counterbalance. He'll see Daze.
That 2-drop is big in this matchup.
Yeah, it is.
So Nathan Zamora, if he's going to draw a Life from Loam, it's going to be very soon. Oh, it looks like,
Yep. And there's the
counterbalance.
counterbalance.
A little bit of awkwardness there.
Counterbalance resolves. And now, Shane has a 1-drop on top. Nathan has one more turn free of the counterbalance lock.
If he has a Life from the Loam, he can get some stuff back, get some cycle lands back.
Yeah. If he resolves one Life from the Loam here, this game is going to be very hard for Shane to win.
Yeah.
but I don't think we've seen a single Life from Loam cast this match.
No, I don't think we have.
Nathan attacks with
Shane
Goyf.
has to take that. He cannot risk getting punishing fired.
Nope. And
Oh, wow.
another assault.
Another assault. He worked so hard to keep that from happening last time.
Right.
And now he's under counterbalance lock.
Yeah, but does it matter? I don't think it does.
He does have a 2 there, and he has something else on top. Another land on top.
Fetch land, island
Yep.
days on top. Ordered with the fetch land.
So Nathan Zamora, all of a sudden, once again, that top deck seismic assault, putting him again in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and he only has 2 seismic assaults in his entire 75.
He gets to attack with pretty much the impunity now. I believe his Tarmogoyfs are still 4/5s.
Yep. Yeah, that beast can attack too.
Right. You know, he may have a land, he may not have a land,
But can Shane risk it?
exactly, that's the question. And all of a sudden, he's in a situation where he doesn't have
Whoa.
Terravore.
That's a 3-drop check? 3-drop trap? Nope.
Yeah,
And
doesn't have the 3-drops.
Shane will spin the top again, but he knows the top 3 cards.
Yeah, wow. Nathan Zamora, 2 turns in a row.
Landing them.
Yep, big windmill slams.
Backbreaking 3-drop.
Yeah. Wow.
Nathan Zamora says, please no 3-drop. Please don't have the one beast within left. But Shane doesn't.
He doesn't have a land though. If he had a land, he would have just attacked.
Right.
I think maybe you just bluff it.
Yeah, I would attack with the Goyf there for sure. Maybe even the beast.
What's the top 3?
Top, days, land, cannot do anything with those. He'll have to
Yeah.
fetch away.
And that Terravore, it's going to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that thing is huge right now. I'm afraid to even know how big that is. It's probably just about as big as Shane Remelt's life total.
I think we're counting 10-10.
So this game was looking so good for Shane in the mid game, but
Yeah, I mean Nathan really had, you know, only a few turns to really get in there. Getting that seismic assault meant that he couldn't submerge Tarmogoyf and just counter it.
right. So fetch land used for Shane. He drops to 10. Tarmogoyf grows to 11, and he'll have one last look at the top 3 cards.
Man.
So it looks like you might be right. It looks like the Agrolum deck
Agrolum deck.
might take it down.
Yeah.
Unless something
One more
amazing
time,
happens
he
here.
looks. We see a wasteland.
A Brainstorm and a Tarmogoyf, I think. But
Yeah,
no,
Tarmogoyf.
he's showing them to his opponent. They don't do anything.
Not enough to stop a 10-10.
And there's the handshake.
Wow.
Wow.
Nathan Zamora, Agrolome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome match there. After taking a quick game run, Shane Remelt cannot win another one.
And Agrolome, I mean, this is a very classic